Hello, this is John with Coins, RPGs, and more, and tonight's going to be the first session in the solo gaming. Why? Because yesterday, we made the character. Today, we're going to send this character off into the wild and see what it can become. But that'll be fun. So, just a quick review. The character that we're playing tonight is one Willim Stargazer. Willim Stargazer is a first-level human ranger. Raised by, grew up in the lands of a local lord. I think he spent some time as a sort of a huntsman who helped out to take care of the game on the lord's land, and helped the lord with a hunting trip. So he probably did some of the actual work for hunting while the lord, shot the animal and actually took all the glory. So, he's not high up on the totem pole, but he's got some skills. Let's move the camera a little bit closer, because I want people, mostly for the microphone, I want everyone to be able to hear me. Okay, so let me know how the volume comes out on this one. Anyway, but he discovered, upon reaching his 18th year, at the untimely death of his mother, she died of plague and sickness. My heart, it bleeds. Willim learned that he has a curse, a gaze that has been placed upon him. It was placed upon him at the time of his birth. It got kept secret from him. The only information that he has is that it has to do with him, and it's written out on this little, let's call it a stone tablet. Not stone tablet. Stone tablets. It's on a ring. It was written on a wooden ring that his mother kept secret for a long time. And so it's written in runes, and he recognized what it was because his father told him what it was, while also reminding him, "Young Willim, you need to remember that you are a follower of the Lady of Light, and you are not to give way to these pagan beliefs in nature like your mother did. No. Remember your upbringing, boy. Remember who you are." And Willim, of course, says, "Yes, Dad, absolutely." That's not his voice. "Yes, Father, absolutely. I shall remember who I am, and I shall endeavor to also learn what this says, because once we know what it says, then we can tell everyone that it has nothing to do with me at all. Secretly, I really want to know what this is, because I loved my mother very much, and I don't understand her beliefs, and I really want to know what's going on." So he went on a quest. He left home shortly after his 18th birthday in order to figure out what this is. And that's all a result of random die rolls that we made yesterday, along with a little bit of me, player and GM, Fiat. And it's not a car. Okay, so, but we're going to place him in this world. We're going to place him in the city of Northgate. It's a large-ish, it's not the biggest city in the western side of the kingdom, but it's a bit large. It's the second largest city in the western half of the kingdom. That's really easy, because right now there's only two. And it's really more of a glorified town. But what it lacks in size, it makes up for in location, because Northgate is situated at the northern pass that head through the Dragonback Mountains. The Dragonback Mountains are this big mountain range that separates the main part of the kingdom of Avalon from the Wildlands. And the Wildlands, they're wild. Aha! No, but they're also a place that Avalon recently conquered from its southern neighbors, it goes by the name of Hassanlan. Hassanlan is a country that is it's extremely bad. There's a lot of hatred between Hassanlan and Avalon. Why? Well, there's a lot to get into it, but there was basically a war. Hassanlan might have started it, but they sure as heck lost it. and they lost about like some large percentage. Let's call it 75% of the territory was lost to Avalon. But Avalon finally was able to Avalon was finally pushed back at the border to at one of the river banks in Hassanlan, or where they made they desperately threw up some earthworks, and they fought this like Hadrian's Wall, Romans against the barbarians kind of battle for days and days against the rampaging knights of Avalon. But when you've got this big wall and a lot of infantry to defend it, it's kind of hard for guys mounted on horses to be able to get through. Long story short, so that was 10 years ago, roughly, and Avalon has been in control of the Wildlands ever since. They've done a few things. They've sent out a lot of settlers. There's human villages dotting here and there, but really, there's still a lot of remnants of when Hassanlan was there. But they were more of an agrarian society, so they didn't really do a whole lot of development of the land so much. They did a lot of farmland, but the Wilds have a tendency to take farmland back pretty quickly once the farmers are no longer there. So he is going out. Willim is venturing out into these wildlands from Northgate, passing through the rest of the Dragonback Mountains, and he's journeying towards the wildlands. And his goal is to seek out signs and symbols that relate to that his mother's, whatever his mother believed in. He doesn't know a lot about her. He knows the basic tenets, the kind of he's got the Cliff Note version. Oh boy. I'm trying to move this because there's a bright light right behind. There we go. Okay, now I can look at the camera without being blinded by the copyright. And so Willim is venturing out, and it's that scene when he reaches the top of the Dragonback Mountain Pass, and he finally looks down, and all his life, all he's ever known is Avalon and the rolling green fields of Avalon, the organized farms every which way. Everything is very tightly regimented and feudal, and he's only ever known that existence. So for the first time, he looks out as these sprawling, rolling hills and wild forests of the wild lands, dark, ancient growth forests, swamps, marshes. It all spreads out before him. And towards the edge of his vision, where he can't see any further, there's the Lamia River, visible even from this distance, because it's such a large river, visible as it stretches from the north and snakes its way down towards the south. And on the other side of that river, one of the main reasons why people notice it is because that land is the Mage Wastes. The Mage Wastes, every citizen of this world is told about them, knows about them, has heard about them at some point. It's this massive desert-like wasteland filled with the remnants of ancient spells from over 1,000 years ago when wizards and mages fought with magic to the point where they poisoned the earth and just destroyed it. There is always a bank of thunder clouds above the Mage Wastes, and periodically you will see purple and pink lightning striking down to the ground, obliterating anything that might be life there. At least that's the assumption. The assumption is there is no life. There is no growth there. There is just strange magic and the effects that it has on the few living things that try to even enter inside. In some places, the Mage Wastes are actually a very large place, but we're focusing right now, it's just a location. It's out there. It's something that he sees. But his focus isn't on the Mage Wastes, because that's not what his mother believed in. His mother believed in the natural world. And that he can see in the wildlands. He's probably heard of rumors that a druid can be found somewhere in the wildlands. So his first job, he wants to track down any sign of the druids. So he's going to look out, and will he see something that gives him a landmark, a direction to go? I suspect it's likely, which means we're going to roll a d6 with a +1 and find out what happens. I think it's likely because, frankly, there's a lot there. He's going to see something. Okay. That's a 3 + 1 = 4. That takes us from it's complicated, or complication, to yes, but. So, yes, he sees something, but he sees a series of standing stones. They're a bit further down the mountainside. He's gonna have to, they're about a little more than a day away from where he is right now. It's a series of standing stones. There's something between him and them. Well, in the setting, I have a village placed there. That's a little easy. It's too easy though. I want a bigger butt here. So they're placed down there. They're overgrown. There's no, even from here, he can tell part of them has fallen. But it's the most likely thing because, everyone is taught when you worship the Lady of Light that heretics tend to gather around stone circles. So there's one that hasn't been knocked down yet. Let's go. All right. Is he going to be distracted between here and there? You know what? It's likely. It's likely he'll be distracted. Why? Because we've got a whole day's journey. But I don't want to be completely mean. So we're just going to have one chance for distraction, and his primary goal is to get there. Let's find out what happens. Rolling. Okay. That's a 2 + 1 is 3, and as we have encountered before on this chart, a 3 it's complicated. So I'm going to say he's making his way down, and he actually passes the village because he doesn't have a lot of money. He's not a rich person. He's got, enough saved up, $1,500 worth of copper coins and gold coins and silver coins in his pouch. But at the same time, he's also a ranger. Like, he knows the wilds. He knows how to hunt, and he's not really too worried about it. He's got food stacked up for a bit, and he's like, this is close. I'm going to go. So he goes. So the complication is he's going to encounter something else along the way. What is the nature of the thing that he encounters? Let's take a roll on the next chart to see what that is. That's going to be a more complicated question. This could be something good. It could be something bad. So first we're going to roll 2 6-sided dice. Bam, 2d6. Huzzah! Okay. First roll was a 4. A 4 on our chart is opposing. Something is opposing him. Second roll is a 5. A 5 on our chart is a death or murder. So, as he makes his way down the road, he's past the village, and he ends up seeing there's a few figures gathered there on the road, and they're all humanoid in size and shape as far as you can tell, but it's a little hard to see from this distance as it's closing in. A lot of people wearing traveling cloaks. Distinguishing features are not really available, but they're gathered around a body, and it's a body of a young human. A young girl. And he walks up and he sees this body. She has been murdered. And Willim being the responsible type, he looks at these people around him and says, hello, what transpired here? How did she die? And the people looking back at him, who the heck are you? Hello, I am Willim. I am a ranger of sorts, a tracker. I come from beyond Northgate, from Avalon. Your kind aren't welcome here, Willim. You'd better be heading on back. Well, that was rather rude. I want to know how this young person happened to die. She's been clearly murdered. Is this shouldn't we find the constable? Shouldn't we find the sheriff and report the crime?
He's clearly not from around here.
Yeah, you think? And they turn on him and draw their weapons. Strangers aren't welcome, especially strangers that murder little girls. What? I did not. There's no way. We're gonna capture you, you murderer. We're gonna turn you in, and you're gonna swing for it. But I'm innocent. The judge won't care. They all say they're innocent, and the two strangers. There's only going to be two of them, but they start advancing upon him. One of them has drawn a dagger, and the other one has this big oaken cudgel in their hand. And so now Willim needs to defend himself, but he's really close to these people right now. So we're going to roll initiative. Group initiative, D6s. So first roll for Willim. Oh, that was out of the tray. Roll again. A 4, rolling for the bad guys. Also a 4. Simultaneous. Okay, everything happens all at once. Awesome. How much time do we got? We are at 17 minutes, so we're going to get this one encounter. That's going to be pretty much it. Sorry. So, they all act at the same time. Willim wasn't really ready for a confrontation. You know, his bow is kind of slung on his back, his shield's on his back, but he's able to get up his battle axe. Now, each round takes about a minute, so let's imagine what he can do in a minute. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say he's not that naive. So he is going to be able to swing his shield up and get his shield ready. So he's got shield in one hand, he's got a battle axe in the other. Well, imagine a short, it's a little larger than a hatchet. Can be used to hook things, hook an enemy's shield around, trying to disarm them, stuff like that. That kind of an axe, okay? He's got that in one hand, he's got a shield in the other, bow's on his back, but he's got two people with melee weapons closing on him, and they're already pretty close, because he got to get within less than 20 feet of them in order to have this conversation. So they're running at him, and he knows the best defense is a good offense. So he gets his shield and his axe ready, and he charges in. The guy with the club's probably more dangerous. So he runs straight at club guy, ha-ya! Makes his attack roll. Cool. No bonus to this. Straight die roll. That's a 13. So this guy, he's a scruffy peasant. He's probably actually one of the people that killed the little girl. These two probably actually killed her for something. We don't know what it was for. Oh, I'll figure that out later. We'll roll for it. But leather armor class 12. All NPCs, you just kind of assume that they have 10s or 9s across the board in stats. Don't worry about it. So armor class is 12. He rolled a 13. Even with his no bonuses, that's a hit. So let's roll damage. Damage D6. It's a battle axe. It's a medium weapon. Whoop. That's not going to work. Rolling again. 6 points of damage. How many hit points did that guy have? It also gets a D6, so let's just roll it. That guy had 1 point of damage. So Willim just runs forward. Ah! Slash. The axe comes through and chops into big club-wearing guy. Okay, club-wearing guy goes down, but not before he gets his attack in. So club-wielding guy, just, he brings that club down at the same time the axe is coming. Let's say there's a side swipe, but he's wielding that club in two hands. No, he's not. It's a standard club. Never mind. It would have been a big feature. So let's see. Standard roll. 17. Oh, ow. I roll well for the NPCs. That's a hit against Willim's armor class. Willim's armor class being a sturdy, with the shield, 16. So one more than what was needed to beat him. So club guy is going to get D6 in damage. 4 points in damage. Willim has 7. Willim only has 3 hit points left. This encounter could be the end of Willim. Knife wielding guy comes around the back. I'm gonna stab him in the kidney, or something like that. Brings out. He makes his attack. Kabam! That's a 6. So he brings his attack, his dagger up, and he tries to get behind Willim, and he thrusts forward. Willim is not unfamiliar with combat, and he's able to twist and turn himself aside to a point where the dagger only catches cloak and nothing else. In fact, I'll even rule that it's not enough to actually cut the cloak. It just But now it's the next turn. So now we roll those D6s again. First for Willim. Got a 2. Now for the bad guys. Got another 2. Simultaneous combat. Again, this is the most dangerous kind. Okay, so Willim has succeeded in killing the first one. That was great, but now he's got to turn his axe. And you'll not take me, you murderous fiends! I bet you killed that girl yourself.
Yeah, we did. She was in our way. And now you'll pay for her crime, you murderer!
So he's going to bring his axe, trying to get some distance between him and that guy, and also, kill him along the way. Bam! Rolling! And that's a 10. So he brings his axe down, trying to get this guy, but this guy kind of skids out of the way. He's got an armor class of 12 too, because he's also wearing leather armor. Leather armor is pretty common out here in the wildlands, because there's a lot of dangerous things, so people tend to go around armed and armored, especially if you're a bunch of ruffians who are intent on murder. So he escapes Willim's blow, and now little guy, dagger wielder, he comes in with his knife. Can he do it? That's a 15. He does not get a bonus to his attack. Actually, according to the rules, when you're making your monsters, they get a bonus of +1 for every hit die. These guys are 1 hit die creatures, which means they do get a +1. So that 15 becomes a 16. And that means that he hits Willim. So Willim only has 3 hit points left. 6. He missed the first time. But the second time, this scruffy guy, comes in and he just grabs Willim's collar. He just reaches past Willim's defenses. And he grabs him by the collar and he brings the knife up and plunges it into Willim's body past the chainmail. And Willim looks up at the sky as he falls down to the ground next to the body of the murdered girl. And he thinks to himself, this can't be. This can't be how it ends. I was supposed to be a hero. And then he closes his eyes. And the last thing he understands of this world is the feeling of his pouch being pulled from his belt. and his money being stolen by this last surviving ruffian. And then he's dead. And thus ends the adventure of Willim. One character, one episode. This is a brutal system. But at the same time, all I have to do is roll up a new character and I'm back for the next session. So that's what we'll do. Next time we'll roll up a new character and then we'll send that character into the Wildlands or into another, maybe I'll pick a dungeon this time, and see how long they can survive. It's solo gaming for me and solo gaming for that character. It's dangerous, but at the same time, the rewards are great. Dice just weren't with Willim today. What can you do? Thank you, everyone, for taking part in or for watching today's show, and I hope you all enjoy yourselves. And we will come back again soon to try either this system or another one. We'll see. Maybe we'll just change things up a little bit. New character, new idea, and see how long it lasts. Thank you all again. I hope you have a wonderful night, and peace be with you. Bye-bye.